PodcastHero.com.
Reporting from my secret underground lair, here are the latest great news stories from greatnewspodcast.com. Brought to you by The Daily Quote, the podcast designed to kickstart your day in a positive way. Link is in the show notes. Tired of all the doom and gloom news from mainstream media? You'll get none of that here. Instead, you'll find inspiring stories and developments, making the world a better place. I'm Andrew McGivern, and this is the Great News Podcast. Today we're diving into some truly groundbreaking advancements in medicine, environmental protection, and global justice. What if we could ensure every child is born free of a life-altering virus? That's our lead story today. Plus, we have a gene therapy that restores hearing, internet cables that can sense earthquakes, and a new way to store energy using a fluid that looks like a giant protein shake. And don't forget to stick around to the speed round, where we'll dive into even more great news. Our lead story today is a historic public health milestone. Brazil has officially eliminated mother-to-child transmission of HIV. The World Health Organization has validated the country for this achievement, making Brazil the most populous country in the Americas to reach this goal. This was made possible through Brazil's unified health system, which provides universal and free access to health services. To meet the validation criteria, Brazil had to reduce vertical transmission to below 2% and achieve over 95% coverage for prenatal care and routine HIV testing. Over the last decade, this regional initiative has helped avert more than 50,000 pediatric HIV infections in the Americas. Brazil's success proves that even in large, complex nations, sustained political commitment can ensure every child is born free of HIV. If you like the Great News Podcast, you'll love the Great Newsletter, because the Great News Podcast is great, but the Great Newsletter is greater. Link in the show notes. Moving on to a medical breakthrough that is literally music to the ears. Gene therapy has restored hearing in congenitally deaf patients. A study published in Nature Medicine followed 10 patients aged 1 to 24 who suffered from a genetic form of deafness caused by OTOF gene mutations. Through a single non-invasive injection, researchers targeted the affected cells in the ear. On average, participants saw their auditory threshold improve from 106 decibels, which is a profound deafness, to 52 decibels, which is approaching the level of normal conversation. This therapy is rewiring the human experience for those who once lived in total silence. Next, let's look at the technology right under our feet, or rather under the sea. Researchers have turned a 4,400-kilometer seafloor telecom cable into a giant earthquake detector. By monitoring shifts in the light coursing through the fiber optic cables that shuttle our internet data, a team at Nokia Bell Labs turned a single cable linking California to Hawaii into the equivalent of 44,000 seismic stations. This breakthrough could usher in a new age of monitoring the seafloor and detecting tsunami-causing earthquakes much earlier than before. Finally, back on land, pumped hydro energy storage is having a renaissance in Devon, England. A company called Re-Energize is using a special mineral-based fluid that is 2.5 times denser than water. Workers mix this secret powder into water like a giant protein shake to create a high-density liquid that sloshes down pipes to drive turbines and create electricity. Because the fluid is so heavy, the system can be smaller and more efficient than traditional water-based hydro plants. All right, let's dive into the speed round for even more great news. The European Union reports that emissions of all major pollutants were significantly lower in 2023 than in 2005. with sulfur oxides plummeting by 95% since 1990. A new psychedelic nasal spray has shown clinically meaningful reductions in depressive symptoms for treatment-resistant patients in as little as 1 day. Vietnam has abolished the death penalty for 8 different crimes, including bribery, embezzlement, and certain drug offenses. Kazakhstan has decriminalized liking provocative social media posts, meaning citizens no longer fear imprisonment for a simple click on Facebook or X. The USDA has unveiled a new upside-down food pyramid, significantly revising dietary guidelines for the first time in years to better reflect modern health needs. And my favorite quote of the day from the Daily Quote podcast this week comes from Kyle Chandler, who once said, "Opportunity does not knock. It presents itself when you beat down the door." Get an inspiring quote delivered to your podcast app every single day by subscribing to the Daily Quote podcast. Subscribe or follow in your favorite podcast app. That's going to do it for today's episode of Great News. From eliminating HIV transmission to turning internet cables into planetary sensors, innovation is solving problems we once thought were unsolvable. If you love this content, be sure to follow, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a little positivity today. Until next time, and there will be a next time, keep looking for the good in the world, because it's not only there, it's everywhere.